Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United.
Remember the comment he made?
I got some varsity.
Run Ryan.
Ryan.
And everything. You have players out there.
I think the fellas will take it more serious.
Hey, what grade?
That one at the go.
Yes, because at the end of the day, right now, Manchester United are
Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United.
Yes.
Yeah, Champions, not maybe Champions League. Watch me, this tie is like a Champions League tie. You know, you'll find this kind of matchup, Manchester United and Barcelona in the past. Champions League quarter-final. I think Javi said Champions League quarter-final, semi-final, final. You know, but I mean, how times have changed. That we're meeting in a playoff round in the Europa League.
Yeah.
You know, but I guess, you know, I mean, we both teams getting back to where we should be in international football. You know, but how we feeling otherwise, fellas? We want to get into it one time.
Yeah, I mean, we can see it, man.
Nice. So first things first, right? That was a hell of a game, you know, and a hell of a performance from Manchester United. Well, most of the second half, and I guess we go agree on that, right? When was the last time we actually went to the new camp or the Camp Nou, and we went at Barcelona? You know, because my recollection had to be back 98, 99 when Yorkie and Cole was linking proper. You know, I think that game had ended 3-3 or something, so right?
Yeah. 3-3.
But we never won at the Camp Nou. And to me today we should have. And Nico, I mean, me and Nico was talking about it, you know, after the game. And this is what was a bit upsetting for me. You know, when you consider the number of chances we created and the good chances that we missed, it had me feeling a bit disappointed at full time, you know. But I calm now, right? And I'm proud. And I want to think reckless thoughts only about Europa League, you know. You know, I want to think reckless thoughts about Europa League. You know, because despite missing Anthony, Eriksen, Sabitzer, Martial, and most notably Lisandro Martinez.
Yeah.
Right? Eric Ten Hag still
You could still like Dalot to that, as much as he didn't play. Added Dalot to that list,
Of course, you know. I mean, but Ten Hag came with another tactical masterclass, you know, that had me feeling like we were unlucky not to win the game today. You know. Anyway, fellas, so let me be honest here, right? Because we just always talk about, you know, hindsight and all kind of thing, and we have the benefit of hindsight now. But let me be honest. Before kickoff, what were your score predictions for this game?
I didn't predict our score. I know we talk about it the last review. I would have said at least coming away with a point, or not getting beaten, you know, would have been sufficient for me. So going into the game, I say if we come away with a draw, however, to me that would have been a good result. All
right. What about you, Simeon?
My perfect score would have been a draw, but I was thinking, you know, given that, you know, we had no, what I saw was, you know, Casemiro in midfield and Fred, you know, I thought like 1-0 loss would have been okay. You know, one goal down, go back to, you know, get the whole team back, or we'd be okay. But, you know, a draw would have been a perfect, you know, I didn't expect what I saw today. I didn't expect Ten Hag to go in there in the first minute, you know, open up Barca. I didn't expect that. You know, it's what we were talking about. I always said that we didn't have the players for it. He went in there with half the team gone, and he attacked Barcelona. I mean, where we find this man? Like, where we find this goal from? I mean, really, like, we went to Barca. I mean, we could have. I mean, forget Barca, Spain. We had all kind of trouble in Spain, and this man just pick up, you know, half a team and go up there and take it to Barca. We should have won that game. I mean, before I was, you know, I was saying, boy, how we gonna make, But now looking back, I'm like, I mean, first missed real chance, boy. Weghorst, Sancho, Rashford, Malacia come in. I mean, they had real chances, but I mean, I can't get too big. I'm not happy today, I mean, we back. I mean, I think we a team, as a club, we back as far as playing to that standard, that United standard. So
Yeah, and Xavi and all say that. He say Manchester United are back, and for a man at that level, operating at that level in a similar situation where you're trying to, get the club back up to that kind of place. The man say Manchester United back and he congratulated Ten Hag after the game.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
you still have to. Yeah, he has some question marks over that Barca team anyway. So as much as we might be back, that Barca team ain't good, eh? But anyway,
Well. How to
it's
how?
tough.
No. Let me put things in
yeah,
perspective,
yeah,
because at
yeah,
the same time, we had to recognize, yes, they're not at that level where they were considered one of the best teams in the world performance-wise, with the
right,
Messi, Suarez, Neymar, Xavi, Iniesta. We understand that, but this is still a very good team. They have considered how much goals? One goal in the last 7. Look at that Lewandowski you're talking about, right? You're talking
Yeah,
about Pedri, Gavi. These are not jokey players,
yeah.
dog. We talk
And,
about
yeah,
and, and I think
same.
and I think what
Yeah,
helped also is when Gavi got injured, eh?
Pedri.
It's Pedri, right? When
Yeah,
Pedri got injured, I think that helped as well.
yeah.
yeah. I
I
mean,
think this is a very. I
I
mean,
mean,
I hear what you're saying, Nico. But there's not a bad Barca team at all. It's at worst, boy.
Is that worse?
And
Well,
worst Barca team. And watch me, worst Barca team between two, eh?
yeah. Nah, but Ten Hag different. Ten Hag wasn't taking out with our worst Barca team than this. Nah,
ah,
nah. Yeah.
Guys, don't forget to like and share the podcast, right? It's a good day. We want to get the content or we want to be a little reckless. We want to be bold-faced. So share it up on all them chats early on, right? Even when it's a Arsenal men and... I watch me, it's a real men want you to lose this game today to come and be heavy, yeah? I got some comments here. Barbados MUFC on the inside.
Yeah, you good
He's
night,
saying,
man.
I heard it should have been 4-2 to us. Don't worry, we're going to take care of them at Old Trafford. Should have been 4-2. Curtin on the inside, thanks for joining, man. Good night to you. Arun on the inside, good night, buddy. Thanks for joining, man. Phil in the comment section, he said my score prediction was 2-2. Rashford scored 2 and Weghorst scored 2.
You give Weggy a chance now, oh gosh.
man.
Yeah. Phil saying here, Pedri and Gavi missing the second leg. Yeah, boy. Watch my credit to Fred for getting in Gavi header.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arun saying here, what a match. Imagine a draw at Barca feeling like yeah, boy. I'm telling you, Nick want to calm me earlier today. I was bitter. Watch man. Anyway, fellas. So, I mean, how to play it, boy? I mean, I think we kind of probably say some stuff about it before, right? But were you all surprised with how open this game was for us? Because, I mean, we're talking about a very decent Barcelona team, right? We know the threats they have. We know, they put Madrid to the sword the other day. And Madrid right now is European champions, world club champions. We usually KG versus teams like Barca. Even in the days of Sir Alex Ferguson, them 2 Champions League finals, Fergie is getting me vexing. Anyway, were you all surprised as to how, we approached the game, how Ten Hag set up his team? Were you all surprised? And what were your expectations in terms of how you thought we would have set up to play?
No, I think from day one, Ten Hag said that he want to play fun football and he wants to win. If it look at how we play City, how we play Arsenal, how we play Liverpool, those are top teams, right? And in none of those games we play defensively, played any counter, home or away. We matched almost each of those teams other than the City in the first game we played City. We would have matched those teams playing on the front foot, trying to attack, trying to score, being positive, being proactive. And that's Ten Hag football. And Ten Hag, from what I have been seeing, Ten Hag is not going to change his philosophy and change his ideas because he don't have the players to do it. So or even respecting the opposition. I think Ten Hag sees himself as even a greater tactician than Xavi, right? So if I see myself as superior to Xavi, then I should be able to put my players out there to demonstrate that. And I think that is what Ten Hag did. He went there, confident that hey, whatever I have here, that Barca team, we better than them. And I think he would have gotten that into the players' mind. Hey, this team ain't good all year. All better than this team. And I want to see all go out there and show that. Believe in yourself. It's two players have question marks over which I think we are getting to.
Yeah.
But I think Ten Hag is really working on the psyche of these players and making them believe that they are top players. And I think that is the difference. Making them believe that hey, these players are better than all. And even if they're better, our tactics gonna cater for that. Just believe in it, trust the process, and we'll get the results.
Yeah. Simeon, I'll come to you and Nico make some real good points there. I mean, I sort of feel
Okay,
kind of butterflies and all kind of thing, right?
No, let me get like Nico make a good point. Like,
Yeah.
he talked about some players, like the trust factor that Ten Hag has in some players, like Bissaka. He might make a mistake, but Ten Hag still leave him out. Like Ten Hag still have enough trust in Bissaka. All the bad pass and him and Fred, a lot of things they did that I was sticking my head on. But like I feel like he talked to them fellas and tell them all you guys gotta do is make enough plays. And even though they weren't perfect tonight, we couldn't play the way we played without them out there. Like I feel like Ten Hag has so much trust in these guys because I mean Casemiro being there helps. I mean, ain't no lie about that. Casemiro being back helps. But like to attack Barcelona at Nou Camp, you have to trust Bissaka to be on that right side. Even young Malacia, playing next to Shaw. Like a lot of trust in these guys that Ten Hag has that I don't think even Oli buy a lot of these players, but when it comes to these big teams, Oli like, you know what? Just stay back.
Low block, yeah,
Low block, go back, don't play. And I think with Fred, even though he still ain't really that good, the more trust you put in him, you start seeing more performance going forward. So I mean, I think Ten Hag have that for us, mentally stronger than they have ever been since I've seen them.
Yeah, I mean, for me, because I mean, I always look at the way Ten Hag wants to play, and for me, if you want to execute it at the highest level, it's kind of important to have the right players to do it now. And he like Eriksen missing,
Yeah.
Martinez missing, So going into the game, I was always wondering. You feel he could change it today, but you feel he could change it up a little bit and probably wait until we get more players back next week. Because we know we have Martinez back, we know we have Sabitzer inside. We know Anthony will be back. So it's just really damage control today now.
That's what I thought. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. But Ten Hag said, no, dog, no.
Yeah.
And before the game, right, he had a little interview before the game, and this is what he had to say, right? And I mean, when I see these kind of things, it just make me feel real. I kind of win about Ten Hag said, and he said, no, not us. He don't want to sneak a win, right? He said, we want to win. We go front foot. We have to be brave, but not naive. He said he hate naive football, right? But we go for it. But I think we have a good plan and how it's up. And now it's up to us.
Exactly. Yeah.
You understand?
Trust the process. Let's trust the process. Go there and trust the process.
Correct.
Yeah.
And even though we saw, a first half where it wasn't, we weren't looking too assured. He didn't panic and change back and say, okay, Ollie, well, let me sit back. Let me just try to. The man stick to his guns. You understand? He stick to the plan. And he allowed them players to go through and execute it to the best of their ability. And for me, that win, dog, that win, Yeah. I mean, I remember during the game, I don't know, to say, well, hey, Ten Hag started to make substitutions, dog, even in the first half,
Yeah.
Make them change.
I was like, where's Dalo? Dalo, one more.
Men call it for Dalo, men call it for Garnacho.
Well, I'm telling you.
Anyway, so fellas, let me get with 3 word review or match
God.
analysis. What a 3-word match analysis. But before, while I'm
Nah,
thinking
boy.
about it, let me get some comments. Let me get some comments here, right? So, the Venture on the inside, good night, man. Thanks for joining, buddy. He's saying Barca on top of their league, eh? That was a good result. 2-0 at Old Trafford next week. We're taking that, boy. Taking that, we. And I mean, according to the game, go. If we win 2-0, I might come here vexed because we shall be them 5-0. All right? Phil saying here, Ten Hag fears no one. And that sort of mentality has trickled down to the players as well. Yeah, we respect you, but we ain't afraid you no more. You know, he also saying here, I got a couple of players I got question marks over as well. Nico, you sure it's a couple or one?
Not a couple.
Arun saying here, what calmed me was realizing Barca won 18, draw 2 and lost 1, only conceding 7 in La Liga. And we went at the Camp Nou and bust 2 in the... Yeah. Manchester United, the earlier we coming back. Cousin saying here, history words. Hala Madrid. With the
I
third
keep
word,
missing a face somebody.
Hey, Richard on the inside. Good night,
Yeah,
man.
Richard,
Thanks for
good night,
joining,
man.
buddy. He's saying the game win the Carabao. He's saying win the Carabao.
Cup and Europa and take the league by surprise. I don't talk.
Yeah, watch me. We could get reckless, man. We could get reckless. Yeah, sorry for that. I all for that. Yeah, I all for that. Hala Madrid, Casemiro and Varane. Yeah. Well, yeah. I agree with that. Where are Nico? 3 words.
Rashford, goat form, boy.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
What's there? I don't know where that ball passed.
Hear that?
That ball pass. Ten Stegen so quick. The man ain't even shaking.
Yeah.
He don't know where that ball passed.
Nah. Trust me.
Wow.
Trust
and
me.
then that turn of pace to beat who was that player he beat? Kunde. Yeah. To get across for the own goal again. Nah, he his belief in himself on a different level right now. And I think that's the difference. You know, because he believed that, hey, I'm gonna beat him and I'm gonna create something. Something gonna happen. You know? I'm gonna take the shot, I'm gonna score. And it's happening.
Yeah, boy. Simeon, what you have?
Man, it was good. It was going to be the referee is Catalan. You know, that could be my 3 words. But you know, I can't get vexed because Fred, you know, that handball didn't get called, so I can't get vexed for the referee too much.
And that's handball. I find that's real close.
Yeah. That was. You know.
Yeah, I was like,
but you never know because especially with that call on Rashford, he didn't call, and then right up after he called it on Gabi. That was suspect. So you said that's some question marks over the referee.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, it's the United standard, man. The United standard. Like we have a standard now that we play in, and hope you know. As long as we have guys to put the shirt on, you expect a level of, you know, a standard of play, you know, from our team. So it's just good to see, man. It's just good to see.
Yeah. For me, Casemiro, hero villain, God boy. God boy.
Yeah. So, nice month.
Yeah.
And you'll get me.
Yeah. They're just in here attacking football forever. Yeah, boy. You know how long we begging for that? We begging for that. Right? Phil saying here the 3 words related to the game today or just football in general. Related to the game today. He's saying my 3 words are Arsenal and Jokers. Well, we waited to see this capitulation. Let me see if they have any kind of, you know, testicular fortitude, right? Or kahunas to bounce back and really push City to the end. He also saying, I hear Barcelona should have been 10 men down. Yeah, boy. That referee, Van messing with me big time.
Yeah.
All right. So guys, let me look at general thoughts on the game, team sheets, you know, and we have some specific things that we want to talk about, right? So probably you could factor that into your you know, wherever you had to contribute, right? But we want to look at, you know, that referee decision on Kunde foul on Rashford, right? Why VAR? And you're seeing Ten Hag starting to get real animated, and he actually started to go in on refs now. You know, in the early he used to say, well, it's a decision of the ref, and they don't
Yeah,
question the ref. But now he gain it's
yeah,
affecting we, you know. Um, Nico, as
yeah.
a you know, what going on, boy? What going on with VAR? What going on with them referees? Why the assistant referee didn't?
Look,
How he see it
yeah.
differently that it wasn't a foul and the whole world see it?
Um, the only thing I thinking now is that it. I don't know if you all see the replays more in terms of where the foul took place. It looked to me an initial viewing like it took place outside the area.
It was outside.
Um, right. So to me, even if he got it wrong, they wouldn't have called it back, right? Unless it's, let me say, a red card. To me, it wasn't a red card because it would have been like the Kunde was challenging for the ball, which wouldn't be a red card. If you did pull him down, well, definitely then that would have been a red card. But you don't need more challenge to the ball, so if the referee didn't pick it up, then VAR wouldn't commentate. If it was inside the area, then VAR would have come in and said, well, here what, let me take a look at it. You know, to me, and that is why it didn't go back. So that's why Tenag, when we look at it, Tenag was at the assistant referee because Tenag is saying, all right, the referee didn't see it, but you who looking across should have seen it and make that call now. So that's why Tenag was so animated with the assistant referee. So again, that was a tough one. But again, it was so blatant, right? So us who looking at it, was a blatant miss on the part of the referee. And on the other side, and that would have hurt. So you miss a clear foul on one side, and then you come up right after, and you give almost the identical foul
Correct.
against the team. And to
Yeah.
me, that is when Ten Hag would have went ballistic and got the yellow card because now
Yeah.
you're more or less costing the team a potential goal. So yeah, I think, and I guess, and we always talk about this. Refereeing is subjective, and one referee might see the same. Well, 10 referees might see one thing 10 different ways. So I guess that is nature of the beast, and that is why we enjoy football this much.
Yeah. 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 Simeon, what was your thoughts on Wan-Bissaka's performance today? He had a kind of mixed bag.
Yeah, I mean, it was mixed. I think Barcelona did a good job as far as like moving guys around. Like normally Wambasaka like 1-on-1. He could tackle a man, he could slide, but Barcelona did a good job as far as keeping him busy, having like good movement, the way he could really zero in on one ball carrier. But Basaka was just he tried, man, but it's Wan-Bissaka. Like when you get with Basaka, he would try something, it probably won't work. Or he could, I mean, he had some good crosses that he had, but it was so like he feel like he looks so unfinished. It's like he's so unrefined in his movement. Like he's so the skill just isn't there where it should be for someone playing at that level. He's like attacking, his dribbling, and he has the right size, he has the right speed, but he's so unorthodox that it's so hard to really play with him. So you know, I can't see where I don't understand why Dallo didn't come on. I don't know what the thing is with Dallo. 'Cause I know Dallo would have done so much better in that attacking third, but Saka didn't. He wasn't great, um, but he wasn't. No, I was gonna say he wasn't horrible. I mean, he. Well, I'm gonna say, boy, like I mean, the man. I mean, that ball, that back pass that came to him, that he let run across his body, and the guy almost scored. Like it's stuff like that. Like I want to give him a pass, but you can't. The man play himself on the field. The man play himself off the field. Like you can't trust Pisaka. Like you look at that game there, you're like, man, it's okay to have him, but you can't have him as a real option if you want to win championships. So
I think, and
Yeah.
when you talk about a particular incident that happened on the pitch today, and if Bissaka's recovery pace slash tackling wasn't so good, he would have cost us so dearly today.
Yeah.
Because the one where he let that ball run across and I can't remember, I think if Gavi or whoever
Yeah.
get it and blow past him.
Yeah.
If he wasn't so good at lying down and putting his frame on the line, that could have cost us, eh? And there's always say anytime you reach to the place where you had to throw your frame or you had to
Yeah.
recover is because you made a bad decision in the first place. So we saw so much times today how exposed, Wan-Bissaka was under, how much space we allowed Gavi on that left hand side, which would have been our right. And I mean, they was having a field day, they was overlapping and then touching back, and
Yeah.
all the time that they're swinging the ball and that's when there's a space, and you see Wan-Bissaka casually jogging back as usual. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know.
For me, I just like one Masaka not learning, boy, because
Yeah.
there's about 3 seasons now, or even 4, however long he at the club is the same thing. Why you always sticking up under the centre back? And it's all last space wide. You're not even being proactive in terms of, all right, I have a possibility that ball could go wide, so at least let me judge it now. It's right true. So, why that's me. Man, Saka had my pressure high for almost the entire game. My head was hurting every time, and it's rubbish on top of rubbish on top of rubbish.
Yeah, boy.
And what's that? I was begging Peter to get sub. To me, he was rubbish. You know what I mean? Yes, we made it through, but as Reem said, we made it through because maybe his recovery pace and all that. But on a footballing level, nah, he's not good enough. He's not good enough. Not good enough.
And on another day, he could have get punished. You understand? The
That's
team
it,
could have
yeah.
get punished.
Yeah, and it going right back to the RB Leipzig game, right?
Yeah.
When again you tucking in and you leaving Angelino free wide right through. So you were understanding what's going on. You were seeing, all right, well, let me at least keep fire on one side because most likely that would have looking to do. So they play
Correct.
all the football on one side, that's switching it on your side because right you tucking in and you're not reading that.
Yeah. And you could have seen that was an actual tactic from
Of
Barcelona.
course.
They could have
Of course.
realized
They realized, well, right through.
Yeah. David Curtin saying here, Shaw was a little shaky, but not as shaky as we so-called captain. But I find Shaw do a good job. I mean,
I find he do an
Lewandowski
excellent
easy,
job. I find Shaw did an excellent job.
Hey, you
Not
guys
in
are-
his
He and
preferred
Varane.
position, yeah, not in his preferred position, but for a makeup
Makeshift.
centre back more or less, or
Yeah.
a makeshift centre back.
Hey,
I find he was excellent.
that first 10 minutes when Lewandowski got past him,
Yeah,
I was worried, but like after that, I mean, it wasn't that bad. Like she kind of quiet down and stuff, and those
one or
shows
two little mistakes, but nothing.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's always say when Ten Hag does always, compliment and commend Varane on his his talk to the players and, command the back line. Varane was solid today earlier, solid,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
And it's he who made that critical touch to nick the ball off Lewandowski, eh? Don't forget
Right.
that, eh? That was massive from Varane earlier because I didn't put my money on Lewandowski scoring day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Shaw was in the early he was a little shaky, but Shaw was solid today, but he was top. Right. Darren on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He's saying I realize how we don't sit back against big teams anymore. Yeah, but
Yeah.
no doubt. Anderson on the inside, thanks for joining, Anderson. He's saying Bissaka looks like a footballer who skipped levels in the youth.
And that's an honest feedback. And that's how we just look. He don't understand the game. It's at times he's look good, and then there are times where he out of his depth. And to me, as well, like today, it looked like he lacked confidence or he lacked belief. He lacked belief that he could go in the camp now and put on a good performance.
Yeah.
And I hope Ten Hag working on it. Well, you've seen Ten Hag working, but I hope that men like Bissaka take that training, boy, because you can't be so poor. You should stay in the Premier League and play in the Premier League, right?
Yeah.
Crystal Palace, we're going in Europe no way, and you will stay out there. But nah. You have to improve, boy.
Yeah. Guys, don't forget to like and share the podcast, right? We only have 3 likes. We want to get them likes up, right, guys? You know the algorithm thing does work. We want to get the content out. Blessings. Curtin saying here, a couple of crosses from Bissaka didn't find a man in the box. Yeah. Right? Phil saying here, how did Frankie de Jong play today? I find de Jong was good. I find he was
Yeah,
real good, real calm in possession. The man thinks just
yeah,
proper.
yeah, yeah.
We
Passes
want,
on point.
yeah, we want a man at the Old Trafford, but if that man, if we could get that, but Barca ain't gonna let go that, and he wanna come, that real unfortunate. But that man proper boy. He had a good game, Phil. He had a real good game, right? Greg on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He's saying, to be fair, this draw was a result I anticipated to navigate through today. Was a real asset test. We'll be stronger second leg. Yeah,
Yeah,
well
when I
said.
think about the injuries, players missing. Yeah, did
Yeah.
well.
Anderson saying here he missing some coaching, which one is an indictment. Yeah.
Hmm.
But an indictment on who, boy? Because we came from Crystal Palace, so with the coaching
Yeah.
miss, you know. Um, Phil saying here, Nico, since you and I know where you're saying no good,
Here we go.
who are you going for in
Yeah.
this summer, Harry Kane or Victor Osimhen? And explain. All right,
Yeah.
we go probably leave that for a little bit later. All right. Let me get to our next player performance now, guys. Fred. Thoughts on
My
Fred,
goodness.
Nico?
Yeah. Again, I don't be surprised for nothing from Fred, to be honest. Sometimes Fred show up, sometimes he don't show up. Sometimes he just doesn't know. Fred is a total mixed bag. However, what he does give you is a lot of energy, a lot of effort. He has got 100% all the time. There are some players that you question, like when you're watching one Bataka running back, you're like, Jed, at least do like you're trying to sprint now,
Yeah.
right? But you do get that from Fred, and that is what you could respect from Fred. Fred has given his 100% every single time. I think he did that today. Of course, we know his deficiencies, but I cannot fault him for his performance today. I think he had a solid game with much
A
to
big
improve.
assist too.
But
A big
yeah, and
assist.
that was a quality assist. That was a quality assist. But it's nothing that I didn't expect from Fred, and I does he comfortable with Fred in the team because again, as I say, he does give his all every single game.
Yeah. Simeon, what your thoughts on Fred today, buddy?
I think today was a good game for Fred. I think Fred struggles when you have like bigger players in midfield. Like when you have players that are like more physically gifted than he is in the midfield. I think today with Barcelona's team, I think he could play his game. I thought like he enjoyed this game. I felt like as the game went on, you could see him smiling and he was all over the place today. I mean he almost scored in the first half. He was in the first 10 minutes. In the first minute, he was in the box, right? I think but Saka played cross through and he was right right in the 5 yard, the 10 yard box. But like Fred had a good game today. Well, I think not. I don't see a good game. He enjoyed his game today. You can see him that shot he took today. But I think his passing still needs so much work. I think a lot of our attacks broke down when he got the ball and tries to do a one-touch pass. It breaks down. But besides that, I mean, Fred, I thought he held up well enough in the midfield. He wasn't overrun or power in the midfield like he gets sometimes. I thought his link up play with Casemiro isn't what it is with Ericsson, but it's good enough to keep the play going. But I think Fred, I thought he did enough today just to get us
Yeah.
through.
Yeah,
Angie, that's always Fred.
if it's one thing, and I agree with Talia, if it's one thing with Fred, that man could be having a disaster of a game or a stellar game, and the man will still, make the kind of passes that a confident player go make now. Fred as a man will still know because when you look at it, I mean that pass to Rashford, that was proper. Up to that point, I don't think Fred was, having that real proper game for me to
Yeah.
say, well, hey, you get Fred. Because I remember when that goal scored, I say, who passed that ball?
Yeah.
Right? And when I hear was Fred, I was like, what? Really? I mean, so that had to go a long way in terms of the kind of confidence, the manager giving the player. You may not be playing good. Well, when I say you may not be playing at that level expected for this level of football, but you're still giving your best and you continue to play the best you could be, though without, restricting yourself because you're afraid to make a bad pass or whatever. And like some with Fred, you'll get right through. He will still try that pass even though he go get cut out. He will still try the pass even though he think go reach the man. But when it do reach, So yeah, Fred was okay today. I mean, I still want Erickson come back quick. All right. Earlier, it's at this. Well, let me get some comment before we go to this man called Casimiro, right? Kaden saying here, Fred, Kaden, thanks for joining, man. He's saying Fred was poor with his passes first half and redeemed himself in his second half. Yeah, he was a much better player. And I think the entire team was much better in the second half. Greg saying here, I rather a player that tries than a player who could play and don't look bothered. I won't hate on Fred. Yeah, and I think Nico was alluding to that. All right, Curtin saying here, Fred had a decent game. He does get into good positions in the box and a little outside the box. Only problem is he needs to play some Call of Duty and work on his shooting skills. I agree with that. Or probably just decision making. So which game you could play to work on the decision making? Pass it instead now. You had it shooting or you don't have it. Right? Greg saying here, he's the kind of player that wants to move, progress the ball. His passing is lacking. All right, but he will still try. All right, and he's also saying here, he knows he's not the best on the pitch, best player on the pitch, but it doesn't stop him. Correct. So a turning point in the game today, fellas, and I mean this thing had me real sour. And just before that, I was about just praising Casimiro with how he handled Gavi down in the corner flag. I don't know if Gavi was real flustered and frustrated today. Casimiro take it from him and just stand up and like I more experience than he might be good, but experience beating youth this rounds. And then he gonna do that piece of dotishness in the middle of the park earlier.
Saw that. Yeah, I mean, I look back and like, I remember that play, like Casimiro, he body, the Gavi, right? Gavi, yeah. He bodied Gavi, and Gavi looked up, he couldn't get past him, and then Ferran came over. So it's kind of like a Real Madrid, kind of like, hey, we got it, we got this, we beat Barcelona. And if you feel good, you say, well, we got this. And then like 5 seconds later, I mean, it's just that, Ten Hag was talking about how the chemistry of the team got messed up with all the injuries, how, a lot of the passing routines and stuff, were not as quite as, fluid as it was before with Ericsson. And you see it, like when they're trying to move the ball, some guys, you expect it to be here, and they move. So when Casemiro get the ball and do a little touch, and you look up, and he realized the shadow he passed it to. I mean, but some players you just kind of have to take that. Like Casemiro is one place, like with one mistake in a game, you can't really get too down on Casemiro. I mean, it's sad it cost a goal, but we were doing so well in that moment, man. We had control of the game, and I really messed up. We were so in control, man. They had like no life.
And the thing about it, that same passage I played there where we had possession, we were going to, if he just play the ball proper to show, we would have break out of that press so easy.
Yeah.
Nico, what's your take on that?
Yeah, again, unfortunate, but it has some players they could forgive now because they're playing with their heart on the sleeve. That Casemiro will win us games coming up, and it could be a 1-0 game, and he might be the player to get that goal in 90th minute. Case in point, the Chelsea game when we would have played all over Chelsea, deserved to win. Thought that we were going to lose, and then Casemiro would have come up in the 90 plus and at least won a point for us. And some other games so that he came up big, sometimes that is how the season does go. But overall, it has some players you could allow that. Like Casemiro, we know your standard, we know your quality, you get it wrong there, but hear what? Next game, you're going to make up for that. And to me, from what I have seen from Casemiro so far, is that even he made that mistake today, but next game, he want to prove that, hey, I don't the team last game, but this game I come to show that I'm gonna make it up here. You know, so I think even if the next game coming up when Casemiro play, which is the second leg, right? Yeah, you might see definitely Casemiro is going to give you a stellar performance, and I believe that's going to happen. And another reason to be confident in the second leg. The next thing too, I think if we won this game 2-1, and I could be wrong because it's Ten Hag and it's Ten Hag ball, and Ten Hag definitely sets up his team differently with different confidence. However, naturally, as a human being, you go into the second leg 2-1 up, you feel like you have something to defend, and you might play within yourself, and then Barcelona come in because they have to score. So they come in with that mentality that, hey, we are to attack, and we, as much as I might want us to defend, to attack as well, we in our mind naturally might say, hey, nah, boy, let me defend, we have a 1-goal cushion. So going into Old Trafford 2-2, where the game is still open, to me, where we have our better players back, I think that 2-2 score is not the worst score. Is not the worst score, and I think it could be even better for us going into the second leg.
Yeah,
that's how I see it. So it's unfortunate that we went in. Yeah, it's unfortunate we went in 2-1. 2-2 with Casemiro making the error. But again, Casemiro gonna make up for it. And for us, I think we're gonna come out more focused to win that game in Old Trafford.
Yeah, not bad shout. Mm-hmm. And even Ten Hag in the press conference when he was asked about the mistake, he refused to blame Casemiro. He kind of blamed it on the structure of the team. Because he said the formation, the formation of the team broke down at that point. So I don't know if, based on what Ten Hag saying, it was probably supposed to have somebody there to receive that ball. I'm not sure. While it looked like a real missed pass rather than a ball that went to somebody intentional who was supposed to be there. I don't know. But Ten Hag refused to blame Casemiro, and I guess, it would have been for the same reason that, Simeon, you and Nico would have pointed out that, I mean, a man like Casemiro, he does do more, so he could let that one slide now. Mm-hmm. Knowing that it have a second leg to make amends for. Phil saying here, Casemiro mistakes are far and few between, right? But those mistakes have cost us daily. Yeah, red card versus Palace, fifth yellow card versus Palace, which made him miss the Arsenal match, and now today was another example. Yeah, but again, as Nico said, I guess we could forgive that, right? Because he will be coming to the next game wanting to make amends.
Yeah,
right.
Because and then too, even going back to that Palace red card, it had some game recently. I don't know if you see it, where the player had his arm around the player neck.
The Everton versus Liverpool.
Yeah. That was
nothing.
The Cody. I think hand was around somebody's neck or something like that, and nothing.
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 So. Yeah, man. Manchester United hate, but that way is calling it.
What the like a man always collect yellow card. Like once in the area and something go on, yellow card.
But that red card is the man's first professional red card.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah. Man.
So I want to bring this one to the table, guys. I want to talk a little bit about Bruno, because I remember in the last podcast you all would have mentioned some stuff about Bruno. But I just want to put something on the table here and get your feedback. Simeon, Nico, and those in the comments. All right. What does the fact that now it's something I noticed, right? And I know a lot of you would have noticed it as well. Ten Hag seems to see Bruno as a easy to push out wide kind of player. Now we know Bruno is best in his number 10, or he is playing the 8. But throughout the season, Bruno has been, push out wide for other players. Bruno get pushed out wide and Martial playing the 10. Van de Beek playing the 10 and Bruno get pushed out wide. Anthony, who we buy for the right side, Bruno get pushed out wide for he. Eriksen, Sancho, it happened for. And now Weghorst. Weghorst played the number 10 on Sunday or Saturday or something. and Bruno get pushed out wide, and then today, Weghorst was
Mhm.
in the number 10 and Bruno played out wide. Is it that Bruno not really giving Ten Hag what he wants in that position? It's so push him out wide by?
Um, I think it's about structure and defensive formations. I think it's easier for Bruno to run back defensively than maybe and give you a defensive effort than maybe even a Weghorst or even a Sancho at times or whoever he would have accommodated to go in number 10, right? And when Bruno goes on the right, you see the effort he makes to go back, and I think that's the main reason, right? I could be wrong, but every time I see it, you see the effort that Bruno gives to get back for the defensive formation of the team and the structure of the team. So that is how I see that decision playing off. And then too, sometimes the decision has pay off. Sometimes he might have been a nice cross and somebody score or create a chance playing on the wide. To say and even to say that the number 10 or the number 8 position is his best position, I have a question mark over that. I think we could upgrade in that position, but I think it benefits the team when he plays wide than you definitely a couple Weghorst wide, and we know we'll get from Sancho when we put Sancho wide. We know Marcelo running back either, yeah, which is not his game. So to me, it's really to benefit the structure of the team.
Simeon?
I agree with Nico. I think the right side, defensive wise, has always been an issue for us. I think that's why Anthony plays so much, starts so much games because he's a much better defender. And I think with Anthony out, I think Bruno is the best fit as far as defensively on the right side. I don't want to move Rashford to the right much. And Weghorst is, I mean, if he comes back, he ain't getting forward anytime soon. So I think Bruno just, Bruno, I think in the type of game we want to play, less dependent on counterattacks and more possession based. I don't think you lose too much having him on that side as opposed to when we play counterattack and he has to initiate all the fast breaks. And I found Bruno had a pretty good game today. I don't know if it's because I didn't see too much of him taking shots or anything. I mean, in most of these games, it's always Bruno like up there trying to get a shot off. But I think Bruno had a good game on that right side without being too great or too bad. So that's why I think he's on the right hand side. I mean, I think Weghorst is a good point man. Like I think having Weghorst up there playing 10, he could more or less get the he's supposed to get the long balls that come up there. For some reason, Weghorst ain't quite winning these aerial duels. But I think that was the point. I think Bruno was more defensive cover on the right side.
Yeah, I don't know. I just found it so easy because I mean, if you know you have a particular player that will um, give you what you want in the center of the park, you wouldn't be so quick to
Well,
always push him
yeah,
out
I
now.
mean, but
You
but
know?
Bruno hasn't been unless, like you said, unless you do a fast break. Bruno ain't gonna give you that. Like Bruno ain't go stand in the middle and find you that intricate. I think Bruno isn't. I don't say the word tough enough, but like it's hard for Bruno to control a ball in the middle of the field and move it.
Hmm.
I think he falls. He gets pressured too much and he can't take the pressure in the middle of the field. So right
Yeah.
side is good for him right now.
But I fully believe that Bruno's place in this team, at least now, is very, very key and very important, especially, and it's just me, mentality, because we need those kind of mentality monsters on the pitch. Getting stuck in, knowing when to be in the referee face, because we used to complain about it
Today,
before. But
today,
sometimes you need those kind of players. And I
today,
starting to,
yeah,
yeah, I starting to appreciate, those kind of
today, yeah.
intangibles from Bruno now. Because I mean, you look at the likes of Varane, You look at Casemiro. You need that kind of mentality a little higher up. So that is why Bruno is then. I guess that is why Bruno was given the captain's armband in the absence of Maguire, because he understands, what it means to give everything now, and it has certain aspects of the game that Bruno does bring, even though he may not be the most intricate or skillful number 10, if you want to call it that. But because his game and the player he is have certain qualities that he could still utilize in different positions. You could still, all right, at least I know if I put Bruno out wide, I'm not going to lose, a certain level of his effectiveness, because, we've seen it before with Rashford. You put Rashford wide right, and aspects of his game gone, but you could still put Bruno out wide. So for me, I see Bruno as more of, he facilitating, as Nico put it, the structure of the team and the game plan that Ten Hag, putting out there now. So he could still utilize Bruno in that position because he need Bruno's mentality. But at the same time, I need somebody like Weghorst for what Weghorst might offer, without having to sacrifice, let me say, playing Rashford on the where Rashford could be very effective, So it's something that I noticed, and I just wanted to bring to the fun here where you guys are saying. The comments, let me hear earlier as well, right? So next week is the do or die game, right? We real confident. I think Barca, if they didn't know who this Man United was before today, then they know now. Right? So I think the Barcelona team might be a little more, aware of us come next week. And just like how we would have gone to the Camp Nou and showed them how to play football. Right? I'm not going to be naive to think that, well, because we play in home, it's an automatic win. Right? I still want to be very careful of this Barcelona team, because you don't want to take anybody for granted. We have, and just like how going into this game, we were going away. I think Gregory had mentioned it. We were going away to the new camp, and we had so much players missing. But Ten Hag was able to dig in and get a result out of, and a performance out of us. We know Barcelona are gonna be missing Gavi. They're gonna be missing Pedri. They don't have Dembele. We don't know if Busquets could be back. That kind of thing now, right? And we're gonna have most of our players back. I don't want us to fall into that place of carelessness and feel that, well, hey, we home, and because we know Old Trafford, we have all the players back and they're missing these players. It could be automatic for us. How would you set up for Barca next week? Starting lineup and any other thing that you want to and and also to that, Simeon, do you fancy our chances? Do you think we could take it next week?
I think we could take it. If I was Ten Hag, I'll go through the tape and show all the misses we had, all the bad passes, because we had so many misses there. This time should be over. Between Sancho, wide open misses. All we gotta do is finish better, and we would have been, 4-2, 5. We would have been up.
Weghorst, some good chances them fellas miss.
Real waste. Weghorst, like Alex Clare, workhorse. That's what he is, workhorse. He's the most, value for money. Finishing not included. You buy something. You buy something. You go to buy a car. And tell you, well, you can get these features if you pay more. And he said, nah, I don't need all that. I don't need all the touch screen. I don't need the camera. I don't need that. That's Weghorst. You get the budget, bare version. The man will work hard. The man will, we would, you bring down balls. He would link up.
He ain't doing that. He ain't doing that.
I don't know how he managed to do that so. And lose, aerial battles. But is it Gavi?
Gavi, well, yeah, the Gavi between the
But still, the man defended. The man is defending for the most part. The man run around. The man working. Workhorse. I'll call him workhorse from now on. Workhorse. But like he's the most like value for money player we have, and Ten Hag know what he have. He put him in there and said, "Do a job for me." But we need guys with teeth, man. Like we spend so much time around the penalty area, so much time, and either we're missing, point blank, shots. That game was ours. I mean, that game was really for us, and for some reason we can grab it. And if I was Ten Hag, I would go through those plays and be like, hey, you know, don't let it slip. We can't let this. I mean, this is. I mean, that for us. I mean, Barcelona. As much as we say, they didn't look that good. This is the same team in the summer, that was, buying everybody they could buy. I mean, you can get a player from Barca. Every player was with the Barcelona. I mean, and then Barca fans was talking so much trash. I mean, they're still talking trash, but like, nah, we need this. I mean, we need this game next week.
Yeah, yeah. I have a Barca partner. Real talks, real talks. So I
Yeah,
told him, I say,
yeah,
here we're going
yeah.
on.
Yep.
Win, lose or draw. Come on the podcast and talk with your chest out now. You know? And the man back down. He back down. Right? But I sure
uh,
did win. I sure did win today and comprehensively beat
Poker
us.
Barca,
Right?
you hear
Yeah,
Poker Barca,
he'd
right?
be here
Yeah.
talking one pack of rubbish,
Well,
But I mean
quiet
that's
thing,
what
man.
that's what it is. That's what it is. So what changes you gonna make to the team that played today? What changes you'll make next Tuesday?
I mean, Sab- Sabitzer. I want to try and get Sabitzer in there. I know, I know Fred has his intensity in the middle of midfield, but I want to try and get Sabitzer in there. Have better attacking option. Um, take Fred out. Of course, Martinez. Back to Martinez. Shore in the left hand side. Uh, I might leave Weghorst in. If Marshall probably won't be ready for that game.
Nah,
You know,
definitely won't.
yeah. So I would Rashford, Sancho, and Weghorst up front.
But I think Anthony should be back, I think Anthony should be back.
Well,
So
if
you
he's
don't
back,
see
I mean,
Anthony.
if he's back, he definitely gonna play. Like that's Ten Hag's go-to guy. And I think next week we should run. Everybody should get a sweat. Like today, like one sub all day. We can't have that next week. I mean, who came on today?
Just
Ganacho,
Ganacho. Just Ganacho.
and they made like four subs like before. I mean,
But
we
you
can't have
think
that next week.
But you think the reason why Ten Hag only made one sub is that is the only player off the bench that have minutes in the legs that he kind of trusts now. So when you
Yeah,
look at next week, when we have more players back, we have what likely 4 players back, right? I think McTominay and all might be back, right? I think we might see a little more substitutions next week, right? Because then he might have Anthony, which means we could look at Anthony, Rashford, Sancho with Bruno in the 10. I personally wouldn't drop Fred because I thought Fred was real good today, right? But what Sabitzer offers now is a substitution option,
yeah,
right? So probably at some point in the game we go see where Sabitzer will come in and he go, do a thing. I'm definitely going with Dalot next week, right? And Will
yeah,
Martinez coming in. So we're gonna see Ten Hag's best first choice
of
defensive
course.
line next week. I
I
go with
forgot
Dalot,
Darwin.
Varane. Yeah, I go with Dalot, Varane, Martinez, and Shaw. Right, that's the back line I going with, and
I think Martinez, having Martinez on the field, I think that gives Casemiro more leeway to go forward. Like when
correct.
Martinez on the field, you could tell that whole back line is like, okay, guys, we got this. Go forward. And I think with him, I think Barca should be under pressure next week.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I really hope if it's one thing, and I know under Ten Hag, we don't take no game for granted. That's why he'll go full strength against Scunthorpe, right? So I know for sure, at least from the manager, that he ain't gonna let up. I mean, it's still odds even. Nobody in it yet, so it's like 2-all first half. So we have to come and score, and we have to hope that our home advantage we could use it to our benefit, right? But it could be coming off the tracks early o'clock and trying to get a goal because I really don't want this thing to go down to penalties because I really think Ter Stegen real good at penalties and they haven't proved that he's good at penalties. So we don't want the game to go that far.
But somebody else have to show up. Besides Rashford, somebody else have to show up.
Yeah, and that is something, I mean, we've been talking about for some time because, I mean, we appreciate Rashford's form, and Rashford long may it continue because, brother, you're on fire, right? But at the same time, we don't want to make our team an easy team to predict in terms of where we know the goals coming from. And if anybody else get chances, they're missing, and it's Rashford had to do a madness to come and score,
Yeah.
right? Because we saw that happen today, right? That was a proper goal. Unfortunately, the harder goal Rashford scored, and the easier one, he blasts over the bar, right?
Yeah.
But the chances that Sancho had, as you were saying, listen, you have to put them thing away at this level, man. Come on, man. Right? Weghorst and all. You had to score them thing, brother. Right? Weghorst got the golden ticket, imagine.
That's it.
Just
That was,
just a
that was
couple
it.
just a couple of weeks ago, Weghorst was playing in Turkey against Trabzonspor or something. Now you playing in a Europa League knockout game against Barcelona, dog. Take them chances, horse. You understand what I'm saying? Take them chances. Right? Because likelihood that you're getting more than one at a game, very slim. So when you get, show me that you deserve to be here now, man. You understand? Sancho is our next one. Come on, man. When the other players come back, don't make Ten Hag decision be easy just to drop here. You have to be scoring them kind of chances. At the level we playing at, So I hope come next week, we are playing with food and we getting loads of chances like we get today, and we are putting them away, and then Barca come and get one little jokey header, one little mistake, and we out of the tournament.
Yep.
You understand? Because we proved that we could create chances. We proved at some proper teams at Barcelona, we proved that we could create chances. Let we take them, please. That's all I asking for come next week. Right? Because we will create chances. But don't let no VAR decision come and knock we out of this competition, because that's why we're here in the first place. Because that Martinez penalty call against Sociedad in that first, not Sociedad here, was crazy, and that's why we're here. And you can't do nothing about that. So don't let VAR come and decide this game. Don't let one foolish mistake come and decide this game. Let us put away our chances, and that's all I'm asking for. You dig? Curtin saying here, Fred could probably bench and close out the match in case of a 1-goal difference while winning. I really feel Fred go start because Fred have more minutes in his legs in terms of, consistency and continuity and that kind of thing. I could be very surprised if Fred don't start come Tuesday. I'll be very, very surprised. Unless Sabitzer come and do a kind of thing and impress Ten Hag. I think I will stay with the stick. I will stick with the same midfield. As I said before, I might probably just bring Bruno inside and put Anthony out on the right, and Weghorst might be the guy to make way for me. So yeah. So Simeon, let me get some closing thoughts and wrap it now.
I mean, like you said, man, I think we they always say, we put the food today, man. Like the best in Spain, man, and we handle them proper. Like all we had to do was put the ball in the back of the net. We didn't do that. The job is not done yet. I feel like there's, I feel we did put them to the sword. I feel like it's time. It's time we make a statement. In this league, I think we need to put about True and Barca. I mean, today, they might be the best in Spain, but the way Ten Hag has these guys playing, I don't think once we get Martinez back and we get somebody in front besides Rashford to score some goals, I don't think they can beat us in Old Trafford next week.
Yeah. King on really pray on the inside. Good night, man. Thanks for joining, buddy. He's saying I just have to say Sancho was too weak today. Yeah, but it's trying to work on being a little more aggressive. I mean, yeah. You know, the old rule in the in well, football was the aggregate now. You know, and
Over
the away,
there.
yeah, that away goal rule, boy. We'd have be sitting so nice. We could have go back in Old Trafford and be in so much of control and not even having to win next week if that away goal rule thing was still in effect, right?
Yeah.
But say what? Say what? Anyway, it was nice. It was nice. We had a real good day at the office today. I mean, and that is without even winning the game. You know, so it kind of, for me, it kind of still a little bittersweet, but I believe, you know, after this showing today, you know, that Barca will come into Old Trafford with not much confidence that we are a walkover. You know, even Xavi and all, you know, kind of, you know, had to take one and say, hey, now this Manchester United team really on the up. You know, so I know they're going to be coming to Old Trafford respecting Manchester United. And I really want to break that up because we haven't beaten Barca, you know, in any knockout competition over the past couple of years. Right? The last time we knocked Barca out of a cup competition in Champions League was back in one year when School scored the scorcher from outside. I can't remember what season that was.
Nine.
I can't remember. I don't know if that is. I mean, the comments help me. I can't remember what year that was, but that's when School scored that rocket. That was the last time I think we knocked Barca out of a tournament. All right. So I mean, it's gonna be so sweet for us to do it next week Tuesday. All right. So yeah. King on really pre having the last word. He's saying in Ten Hag we trust. We are back. You don't know. You don't know. All right. I really hope we could see this thing out next week, and I'm gonna be on my nerves until we that final whistle blow and you know we in the next round. 2007, 2008, as when School scored the rocket. Nice. So that was the last time although we knocked Barcelona out of the and that would have been Champions League. Alright? So yeah. So let me make it 22-23 now. Alright? Alright. So everyone have a good night. Thanks for joining and see you all on the next one. Have a good night. We're gonna be here again when? Sunday for the Leicester City game. And then Barcelona coming to Old Trafford. Have a good night, everyone. See you all. Laters.